When people think about global powerhouses, they usually imagine massive countries with huge populations and natural resources. But by 2035, one small nation will quietly become more important than ever: Singapore. Despite its size, Singapore has built a system so efficient, stable, and forward-thinking that countries around the world are studying it. From economic strategy to urban planning, from anti-corruption policies to smart technology, Singapore has become a blueprint for the future. Here's why every country will need Singapore by 2035. A masterclass in governance. Singapore consistently ranks among the least corrupt countries in the world. Its strict laws, transparent systems, and zero-tolerance approach to corruption have created trust between citizens and government. Under the leadership of founding Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore transformed from a struggling port city into a global economic powerhouse within a single generation. His governance model focused on meritocracy, long-term planning, and strong institutions. By 2035, as many countries struggle with political polarization and instability, Singapore's governance model will become even more attractive. Nations facing corruption and inefficiency may look toward Singapore's system as a practical example of how discipline and accountability can drive progress. The global trade lifeline. Singapore sits on one of the world's busiest shipping routes. The Port of Singapore is one of the largest and most efficient ports globally, connecting hundreds of ports worldwide. In a future where supply chains are becoming more complex and fragile, Singapore's logistics expertise will be crucial. The country has invested heavily in automation, AI-powered port management, and next-generation infrastructure. By 2035, as global trade shifts and regional tensions reshape supply routes, Singapore will remain a neutral, reliable hub that connects East and West. The financial bridge between East and West. Singapore has positioned itself as a financial gateway between Asia and the rest of the world. Major global banks, investment firms, and multinational companies use Singapore as their regional headquarters. With Asia's continued economic rise, especially countries like China, India, and Southeast Asian nations, Singapore's role as a stable financial hub will become even more vital. It offers political neutrality, strong rule of law, and a business-friendly environment. In a world where financial trust is increasingly valuable, Singapore's stability will make it indispensable by 2035. A smart city that actually works. While many countries talk about becoming smart nations, Singapore has already implemented it. Under the Smart Nation initiative, the government uses sensors, data analytics, and AI to manage traffic, monitor public services, and improve urban living. From contactless payments to digital government services, nearly everything is streamlined. By 2035, as urban populations grow worldwide, cities will face major challenges: congestion, waste management, water scarcity, and housing shortages. Singapore's solutions will serve as a tested model for sustainable urban management. Countries won't just admire Singapore. They'll study it. Water and sustainability leadership. Singapore has no natural freshwater lakes and very limited land. Yet it has turned water scarcity into innovation. Through advanced recycling systems known as AnyWater and large-scale desalination, Singapore has achieved water resilience that many larger countries struggle to match. As climate change intensifies by 2035, water security will become one of the biggest global challenges. Countries facing droughts and rising sea levels will look at Singapore's environmental engineering strategies for inspiration. Housing that works. Unlike many major cities where housing is unaffordable, over 80% of Singapore's population lives in government-developed public housing, well-maintained, modern, and integrated with public transport and amenities. The Housing Development Board, HDB, system ensures that citizens have access to quality homes without creating urban slums. By 2035, as housing crises grow across major cities globally, Singapore's public housing model may become one of the most studied urban policies in the world. Education built for the future. Singapore's education system consistently ranks among the top globally in math, science, and literacy. But beyond test scores, it focuses on bilingualism, technical skills, and future-ready capabilities. The country prepares students not just for exams, but for industries like AI, fintech, biomedical sciences, and advanced manufacturing. As automation reshapes global labor markets by 2035, countries will need education systems that adapt quickly. Singapore has already shown how to align education with economic strategy. Neutral ground in a divided world. Geopolitical tensions between major powers are increasing. In such a divided global landscape, neutral players become incredibly valuable. Singapore maintains strong relationships with both Western countries and Asian powers. It avoids taking extreme sides while protecting its national interests. By 2035, as global alliances shift, Singapore's diplomatic balancing act could make it an even more important mediator and regional stabilizer. Safety and social stability. Singapore is often ranked as one of the safest countries in the world. Strict laws and strong enforcement have created a society where people feel secure walking at night, using public transport, or doing business. In an era where many countries face rising crime rates and social unrest, Singapore's emphasis on order and social cohesion will become more appealing. While some criticize its strictness, others see it as the foundation of long-term stability. A blueprint for small nations. Perhaps the biggest reason every country will need Singapore by 2035 is this. Singapore proves that size does not determine success. With no natural resources, limited land, and a diverse population, it had every reason to fail. Yet it succeeded through planning, discipline, and innovation. Small countries, developing nations, and even larger states facing structural problems will look at Singapore not as a competitor, but as a case study. By 2035, the global economy will be more digital, more interconnected, and more unpredictable. Countries will face challenges in governance, climate change, urbanization, trade disruption, and technological transformation. Singapore has already built systems to handle many of these pressures. It may not dominate the world militarily or geographically, but it will influence the world intellectually, economically, and strategically. And that's why by 2035, every country won't just admire Singapore, they will need the lessons it offers.